Hi, I'm Josanne Wright Callender, the author of the Happy Little Garbage Truck Picture Book and Educational System. We've been talking about preparing our children for school by building a helpful, hopeful, healthy mindset. But in particular, we're trying to build a powerful spirit in our children all the time. And to do so, I started with an encouragement talk, and it was Y. Joel Wong who had written a really wonderful article, which included a lot of Adlerian scholars' take on what good encouragement is. And we said that it builds confidence, courage, persistence, insight, and hope. And from that, we went on to C.R. Snyder's article on the hope theory, and we found out that to to gain more hopefulness in a child, we need to have stretch goals. And the reason for stretch goals and the reason to build more hopefulness in a child's mindset is it releases dopamine. It was amazing to me to find out, but dopamine is part of that chemical structure that's given to children with ADHD issues. And we have this within us because when we have hope, dopamine is released. It's a positive neurotransmitter, which allows us to not only feel positive, but to actually have the motivation to move toward our goals. And it has the extra quality to help us choose the benefit over the cost in looking at a challenge. So when we have stretch goals, we have to release more of this chemical through hope. I hope I can finish this program. I hope I can, you know, get my multiplication facts, in my mind in whatever way it takes, songs, whatever. And then that goal setting hope leads us to the planning stages. And it's planning the step by step. You might have to have a plan B or C, but you still are moving towards that positive goal. And also, we have to have strategies. Those are the things that keep us on the path when it looks kind of bleak. And a lot of times that happens, as we know. Then one of my sisters reminded me that we had to set priorities. And we looked briefly at some of the ideas and looking at quadrants of what's important, what is urgent, and trying to keep the important things from getting into the urgent, as Stephen Covey's method suggests. So we've come a long way to this particular point, and there are a lot of really wonderful things that I've learned along this path, but I hope that they've been helpful to you. And the future talks, we'll be looking at, excuse me, things that we could do specifically to prepare children for the challenge of going back to school. And this is not just going back to school, because that in itself has some transitional issues and challenges involved within that thought process, but just preparing themselves for life. So what I'll talk about may specify return to school from the quarantine, but I'm going to make it broad enough so that it could fit other categories, maybe starting out on a new team sport or taking on a challenge of doing something new in school that hadn't been taught before, and meeting new friends and making new friends. So hopefully, you'll share, you'll subscribe, and come back and join me next week as we explore some other ways that we can help our children become good people. Thank you so much for being with me today. Bye bye.